They laughed at the human the moment he stepped inside. Not because he was loud. Not because he was rude. But because he was human, and humans were never supposed to belong here. Cale Rourke stood silently at the entrance of the Virex Prime Starship Gallery, the most exclusive luxury dealership in the Aelio's reach. The air inside smelled of polished alloy and rare energy crystals. Soft blue light reflected off floors so clean they looked like liquid glass. Around him floated starships worth more than planetary economies. Cale adjusted the worn sleeve of his grey jacket and took a slow breath. He had crossed 3 systems on emergency transport just to get here. His old vessel had failed beyond repair, and time was something he did not have. The galaxy did not wait for humans. A tall alien woman noticed him almost immediately. Her skin shimmered like brushed silver, eyes glowing faint gold. Her uniform was flawless, marked with the sigil of Senior Sales Director. She looked Cale up and down, her expression tightening just enough to sting. "Can I help you?" she asked. Her tone was smooth. Her meaning was not. Cale met her gaze calmly. "I'm looking to buy a ship." The woman paused. Then she smiled. Not a friendly smile. A practiced one. "This is Virex Prime," she said. "We specialize in luxury interstellar vessels. Perhaps you meant to visit the civilian docks." Soft laughter echoed from nearby staff. Cale felt it, that familiar weight pressing against his chest. Humans had earned respect in battlefields and laboratories, but wealth still made aliens uncomfortable. "I know where I am," Cale replied evenly. "I'd like to see your long-range models." The sales director tilted her head. "And what budget are we working with, human?" "A ship that can cross unstable space corridors," Cale said. "And survive them." Her golden eyes narrowed slightly. "Those models begin at 12 million credits." "I know." Now she laughed openly. Several other aliens glanced over, curiosity blooming. A human in this showroom was entertainment. "I admire your confidence," she said. "But confidence does not change reality." Cale didn't respond. He simply walked past her, stopping beside a massive vessel hovering on a grave field. Its hull was black and gold, layered with advanced shielding geometry. "What's this one?" he asked. The sales director hesitated, clearly annoyed. "The Aurelius Sovereign. Military-grade adaptive armor. Autonomous quantum navigation. It is not suitable for humans." Cale asked. "For someone like you?" Cale nodded slowly. "Price? 21 million credits." The surrounding staff waited. Smirks ready. Judgment already passed. Cale reached into his jacket. The room grew quieter. He did not pull out cash. He did not hesitate. He placed a thin obsidian card on the display pedestal. The symbol etched into it glowed softly. Galactic Reserve Black Authorization. The smile vanished from the sales director's face. Her eyes widened. Her posture stiffened. The laughter around them died instantly. "That card," she whispered. Cale finally looked at her fully. "Will that cover it?" Silence fell across the showroom. One of the junior staff swallowed hard. Another stepped back instinctively. The sales director straightened, her voice suddenly respectful. "And may I ask your name?" "Cale Rourke." Recognition spread like fire. Whispers erupted. The human strategist. The systems architect. The man who rebuilt collapse zones. Her tone changed completely. "Mr. Rourke, I sincerely apologize." Cale did not smile. "I didn't come here for apologies," he said. "I came for a ship." She nodded rapidly. "Of course. We can begin customization immediately." Cale looked around the room, at the staff who had laughed, at the aliens who now avoided his eyes. "Good," he said. "Because I'll need it fast." As contracts appeared in glowing holograms, Cale felt it again, that quiet truth humans carried into every corner of the galaxy. They didn't need permission to belong. They earned it. And somewhere far beyond the showroom walls, forces were already moving, forces that would soon regret underestimating a single human decision made without hesitation. They thought the moment was over. They believed the human had proven his wealth, nothing more. But humans never survived the galaxy by money alone. Cale Rourke felt the shift before anyone else noticed it. As the contract finalized and the Aurelius Sovereign systems synced with his biometric signature, a subtle ripple passed through the showroom's energy field. To most, it meant nothing. To Cale, it meant eyes were watching, far beyond polished glass walls. The sales director, now stiff with forced professionalism, gestured toward a private lounge. "We will expedite the delivery. The Sovereign will be flight-ready within 48 standard hours." "Good," Cale said. "I'll remain planet-side." Her eyes flickered with surprise. "You intend to stay?" "I always do," Cale replied calmly. "When something matters." She did not ask what he meant. As Cale turned to leave, conversations resumed behind him, softer now, careful. Respect had replaced mockery, but something darker had joined it. Fear. Outside, Vyrix Prime's skyline stretched into the heavens, layered towers glowing with alien brilliance. Cale walked alone, boots echoing against the transit platform. He tapped his wrist interface once. "Status," he said quietly. A soft synthetic voice responded. Multiple encrypted signals detected. High-interest activity flagged within Alio's corporate networks. Cale exhaled slowly. He had expected this. Humans were tolerated in the galaxy. But humans who changed systems were dangerous. That night, Cale rented a modest room near the industrial ring. No luxury. No attention. Just a view of the stars and a secure connection. Within minutes, his interface lit up with warnings. Unauthorized data pings. Market fluctuations around quantum navigation tech. And one transmission marked hostile probability, 92%. Someone had recognized him. Someone with resources. Cale leaned back, eyes half closed, mind racing. He had not become humanity's foremost systems architect by accident. He had survived failed colonies, corporate sabotage, and wars fought with equations instead of weapons. This was familiar territory. Across the city, in a chamber far below public levels, a group gathered around a crystalline table. Their leader, a tall being with angular features and eyes like molten amber, studied Cale's profile hovering in the air. "A human," he said coldly. "Buying a sovereign." One of the others scoffed. "They are clever, but fragile. Overextended." "Not this one," the leader replied. Cale Rourke destabilized 3 trade monopolies without firing a shot. Silence followed. "He must be removed," another voice said. "Before others follow." The leader's fingers tapped the table. "No. Not removed." A thin smile spread across his face. "Acquired." Back in his room, Cale's interface chimed again. This time, a direct message. Unknown sender. Private invitation. He opened it. A smooth alien voice filled the room. "Mr. Rourke, we represent interests impressed by your ambition. We wish to discuss cooperation." Cale smiled faintly. That was fast. He responded with a single line. "I don't do blind deals." A pause. Then coordinates appeared. Public venue. High visibility. Smart. Or arrogant. The next evening, Cale arrived at the Skybridge Cafe overlooking the energy core of Vyrix Prime. The city pulsed beneath transparent flooring, power flowing like rivers of light. 3 figures waited. They stood as Cale approached, expressions polite, controlled. "We believe humans possess unique problem-solving capabilities," the leader said. "We offer partnership." Cale took a seat without invitation. "You monitored my purchase." "Yes." "You interfered with my networks." A brief hesitation. "We assessed potential." Cale leaned forward. "You tried to break into my systems." The temperature shifted. "That was exploratory." Cale nodded slowly. "Here's the thing about humans." They listened. "When someone breaks into our house," he continued, We don't get angry first. He tapped his wrist. We learn how they think. The cafe lights flickered. Data surged. The figures stiffened as their own interfaces lit up with cascading alerts. What did you do? One demanded. Kale stood. I mapped your intrusion in under 3 seconds, he said calmly. Your encryption is elegant. Predictable. Built for stability. He smiled. Humans build for chaos. The leader's voice hardened. This is unwise. No, Kale replied. This is mercy. He turned and walked away as their systems locked down, temporarily, but completely. Not destroyed. A warning. By morning, rumors spread through Virex Prime. Human security protocols outperforming Alio's standards. Alien firms quietly retracting offers. Market confidence shifting. By afternoon, Kale received another message. From the dealership. The Aurelius Sovereign was ready early. As Kale boarded his new ship, its systems awakened like a living thing. The vessel adapted to him instantly, responding not just to commands, but intent. Navigation online, the ship intoned. Kale looked out at the stars. Plot course, he said. Open corridor. The ship hesitated, then complied. Across the city, across the sector, across the quiet corridors of power, one truth settled heavily into alien minds. Humans were no longer visitors. They were variables no one could afford to ignore. And Kale Rourke was just getting started. The first shot was never a weapon. It was a law. Kale Rourke learned that lesson the moment his ship cleared Virex Prime's orbital boundary. Warning, the Aurelius Sovereign announced. Navigation corridor authorization revoked. Reason, regulatory override. Kale frowned slightly. By whom? Joint Alio's Trade Authority, the ship replied. Emergency clause. Kale exhaled through his nose. There it was. The galaxy did not fear humans because they were violent. It feared them because they adapted faster than rules could change. Kale did not slow the ship. Reroute, he said calmly. The Sovereign paused. Alternative corridors unstable. Probability of hull stress exceeds safety margins. Humans don't wait for safe margins, Kale replied. We make them. He opened a private channel. Within seconds, dozens of encrypted signals answered, human voices scattered across space. Engineers. Traders. Former pilots. People who owed Kale favors not because of money, but because he had rebuilt their lives after alien systems had written them off. This is Rourke, Kale said. They're closing corridors. A pause. Then a voice responded. Figures. What's the play? We don't break the blockade, Kale said. We expose it. Across the Alio's reach, something subtle began to happen. Cargo ships rerouted, legally. Markets adjusted, predictively. Data feeds synchronized, quietly. Human-run systems didn't fight authority. They redefined efficiency. Back on Virex Prime, the Alio's Trade Authority convened in emergency session. Massive holoscreens displayed projections spiraling out of control. Our revenue streams are collapsing, one official snapped. Human logistics networks are bypassing tariffs without violating law. That's impossible, another said. No, the leader corrected. It's human. Kale watched the data from his command chair as the Sovereign slipped into an unstable corridor no alien ship would dare use. The vessel adjusted in real time, hull flexing microscopically, systems compensating faster than thought. Structural integrity holding, the ship reported. Kale allowed himself a small smile. Humans didn't overpower the galaxy. They outgrew it. But the galaxy did not surrender quietly. Halfway through the corridor, alarms screamed. Hostile signal lock detected, the Sovereign warned. Kale's eyes hardened. They're escalating. 3 Alio's enforcement cruisers emerged from folded space, weapons charged, not firing, but threatening. Their message was clear. Turn back. Or be erased. Kale opened a broadcast channel. This is Kale Rourke of Earth, he said evenly. You are interfering with lawful transit. You are in violation of corridor restrictions, came the cold reply. Power down. Kale leaned back. Negative, he said. You're in violation of reality. He tapped a command. Across the cruiser's displays, new data flooded in, live feeds from dozens of systems. Human ships moving faster. Trade stabilizing without Alio's oversight. Markets correcting themselves. What is this? The alien commander demanded. Kale's voice remained calm. Proof that you were never essential. Just expensive. The cruisers hesitated. That hesitation saved them. Because humans never fired first, not when information could do more damage. Kale cut the channel and pushed the Sovereign forward. The ship surged, riding the corridor like a living thing, slipping past enforcement vessels that suddenly found their targeting predictions useless. Human systems didn't follow expected paths. They wrote new ones. By the time Kale emerged into open space, the message had spread. Across the reach, aliens were questioning long-held assumptions. Why did human tech integrate faster? Why did their systems fail less catastrophically? Why did humans recover where others collapsed? The answer was simple. Humans expected failure. They designed for it. Days later, Kale docked at a neutral station. He didn't hide. He didn't run. He waited. And the galaxy came to him. Representatives arrived quietly at first. Small trade groups. Independent worlds. Systems tired of rigid hierarchies. Then larger players. Even Alio's envoys. One stood across from Kale in a conference chamber, expression carefully neutral. You have destabilized economic balance, the envoy said. Kale nodded. Balance implies fairness. This galaxy functions on order. No, Kale corrected. It functions on control. The envoy stiffened. What do humans want? Kale considered the question. We want access, he said finally. Not dominance. Not revenge. On your terms, the envoy said. Kale smiled. On reality's terms. Outside the station, human-built ships docked alongside alien vessels without conflict. Data flowed freely. Cooperation happened, not because of treaties, but because it worked. That scared them more than war ever could. Because once humans showed the galaxy a better way, there was no unseeing it. And somewhere deep within Alio's command structures, plans shifted. If humans couldn't be controlled, they would be challenged. Kale felt it in the way the stars seemed to hold their breath. The next move would not be subtle. And it would test not just human intelligence, but human unity. The galaxy had tried laws. It had tried pressure. Now, it tried fear. Kale Rourke sensed it before the alert reached his console. A ripple moved through human channels. Not panic, not chaos, but something sharper. Concern. Priority transmission, the station AI announced. Multiple human-aligned systems reporting simultaneous incidents. Kale's jaw tightened. Display. The holo expanded. Human trade hubs disabled by accidents. Navigation beacons malfunctioning. Supply convoys delayed by sudden inspections. All legal. All deniable. All coordinated. They're testing us, Kale murmured. The Alio's authority had learned something important. Humans didn't fracture easily, but they could be isolated. If you cut enough threads at once, even a web weakens. A secure channel opened. This is Mara Chen, a calm voice said. Logistics Director, Outer Belt. Kale straightened. Talk to me. They're choking us quietly, she said. No direct attacks. Just enough pressure to force compliance. Another channel joined. Jonas Hale here, said a gruff voice. They grounded 3 civilian transports for safety concerns. Families are stranded. Then another. And another. Humans from dozens of systems. Different accents. Different backgrounds. Same problem. Kale listened without interrupting. When the reports ended, silence filled the channel. Then he spoke. They think humans operate as individuals, he said. That's their mistake. He pulled up a network map. Human trade routes didn't form neat lines like alien systems. They overlapped, intersected, adapted. We don't push back directly, Kale continued. We connect. Mara inhaled sharply. You're talking about activating everything. Yes. That's risky, Jonas said. It exposes everyone. Kale nodded. Which is why they'll never expect it. Within minutes, human systems began doing what they did best. Sharing. Fuel rerouted freely. Navigation data released openly. Supply caches unlocked without contracts. Human captains took on stranded passengers without charge. Engineers uploaded fixes to public channels. Pilots flew through unstable space to deliver medicine to worlds that weren't even human. It wasn't charity. It was instinct. Across the Aelio's reach, alien observers watched in confusion as human logistics grew stronger under pressure. They're ignoring profit, one analyst whispered. No, another replied. They're redefining value. The Aelio's authority responded with escalation. A formal declaration. Human operations deemed destabilizing. Enforcement authorized. Kale read it calmly. So that's how they want it, he said. A Human Defense Council convened for the first time in decades. Not a government. Not a military. Just people. Scientists. Traders. Former soldiers. Colonists. What if this becomes war? Someone asked. Kale met their gaze. Then we don't win by destroying them. How do we win, then? Kale's voice was steady. By surviving them. Aelio's enforcement fleets moved in formation, massive, disciplined, powerful, and completely unprepared. Human ships didn't meet them head-on. They scattered, adapted, slipped through blind spots. They didn't jam communications. They flooded them, with transparency. Live feeds. Civilian footage. Proof of enforcement harassment. Neutral systems watched. And judged. This is unprecedented, a neutral counselor said. Humans are broadcasting everything. They have nothing to hide, another replied. As tensions peaked, a Aelio's cruiser intercepted a human medical ship near a border system. Weapons locked. Power down, the Aelio's commander ordered. The human captain responded calmly. There are children on board, she said. And medicine your systems requested yesterday. A pause. Kale watched the feed. The Aelio's commander hesitated. That hesitation spread. Because humans had done something no one expected. They had forced the galaxy to see them, not as threats, not as inferiors, but as neighbors. Public sentiment shifted rapidly. Trade partners withdrew support from Aelio's enforcement. Neutral systems refused docking privileges. The authority realized too late that control without trust collapsed quickly. An emergency summit was called. Kale was invited. He stood before representatives of a dozen species, his posture relaxed, his voice calm. You tried to corner us, he said. And we adapted. You disrupted centuries of order, a Aelio's delegate snapped. Kale nodded. Because your order depended on silence. Silence followed. Then one delegate spoke softly. What do humans want now? Kale looked around the chamber. A seat, he said. And the right to help when things break. The vote passed narrowly. Aelio's enforcement stood down. Restrictions lifted. The galaxy exhaled. But Kale didn't celebrate. Because unity was fragile. And humans had just shown what happened when they stood together. The galaxy would remember. And some would fear it. Others would learn from it. Kale looked out at the stars, knowing one truth had been etched into history. Humanity wasn't loud. It wasn't cruel. It was unstoppable when united. The galaxy did not end in fire. It ended in understanding. Weeks after the Aelio's authority stood down, the stars felt different. Not quieter. Not safer. Just honest. The kind of honesty that followed a long-held lie finally being spoken aloud. Cale Rourke stood on the observation deck of the Aurelius Sovereign, watching a human-built relay station come online in neutral space. Its design was inelegant by alien standards, exposed frameworks, modular segments, visible redundancies. It was beautiful. Relay stable, the ship announced. Traffic increasing. Cale nodded. Humans didn't build monuments. They built tools. Tools that worked even when everything else failed. The summit's decision had rippled outward faster than anyone predicted. Human access to interstellar markets didn't cause chaos. It caused efficiency. Costs dropped. Delivery times shortened. Systems once ignored became valuable again. Not because humans conquered them. Because humans connected them. Alien analysts struggled to explain it. Human networks weren't centralized. Human leadership wasn't absolute. Human success wasn't fragile. It was resilient. On Virex Prime, the luxury Starship Showroom remained open, but something had changed. Where humans once drew smirks, they now drew attention, measured, curious, sometimes wary. The sales director who had mocked Cale weeks earlier watched a young human couple walk confidently among the ships. She said nothing. She had learned. Not all lessons came gently. A private channel chimed. Cale, Mara Chen's voice said. We're seeing interest from systems that never spoke to humans before. Let them speak, Cale replied. They're asking how humans adapted so fast. Cale smiled faintly. Tell them the truth. He didn't say which truth. That humans grew up on a world that tried to kill them daily. That failure wasn't shame, it was data. That cooperation wasn't idealism, it was survival. Elsewhere, Alio's command restructured quietly. The authority still existed, but its grip had loosened. Control gave way to negotiation. Silence gave way to dialogue. Some leaders hated it. Others thrived. One Alio's delegate sent Cale a private message. We underestimated you. Cale responded simply. You underestimated yourselves. Months passed. Human and alien crews worked side by side. Not perfectly. Not without tension. But together. When a mining station collapsed on the fringe, human engineers arrived first, not because they were ordered to, but because someone needed help. When an alien colony's navigation grid failed, human algorithms stabilized it in hours. No charge. No demand. Just a shared fix. The galaxy noticed. Not all species embraced it. Some retreated inward, clinging to old hierarchies. But even they adjusted quietly, copying human redundancies, adopting human failsafes. Humanity had become a standard. Cale received an invitation, this one different. A joint council session. Open agenda. He attended without ceremony. A young alien representative spoke first. Why did you do it? She asked. You could have taken power. Cale considered his answer. Because power breaks, he said. People don't. A murmur spread. Another asked, what happens next? Cale looked out across the chamber. Different species. Different histories. The galaxy will keep breaking, he said honestly. And humans will keep fixing things, not because we're better, but because we're used to it. Silence followed. Then applause. Not loud. Not dramatic. Real. Later, alone on his ship, Cale stood once more at the observation deck. Stars drifted past, endless, indifferent, full of possibility. The Aurelius Sovereign spoke softly. Incoming civilian traffic. Multiple species requesting docking coordination. Cale smiled. Open access, he said. As the ship adjusted, Cale reflected on the moment that had started everything. A showroom. A laugh. A card placed without hesitation. Humans were still underestimated in many corners of the galaxy, but not laughed at anymore. Because the galaxy had learned something it would never forget. Humans did not demand respect. They earned it quietly. Together. And once earned, they never let it go.